guys, Jay the Vaping Guy. I told you I was going to be back for another video. Alright, so the video I just did was for the Darwin. What I'm going to do for you now is for the other device that I absolutely love, and that's the LavaTube. If you're going on the basis of best device in the world, this is not going to be the best device in the whole frickin' world. It just ain't. But what you are going to get is what I believe to be the best device for the dollar. Best bang for your buck. However, whatever catchphrase you want to use, this is what I'm going to go with. This is the LavaTube. It is a separate battery device as opposed to one that has, like the Darwin, where you've got the plug-in. I'm going to compare it back and forth against the Darwin. I know there is another device that is probably better to compare against. It's called the ProVary, because this is kind of like the economy version of the ProVary. I don't have one. I have played with one, so I have something to give a basis of. If you have a ProVary, or if you ever had your hands on one, you'll understand what I'm saying back and forth. So first of all, this is a 18650 tube device. It is a variable voltage device. It goes from 3 volts up to 6 volts. It has a couple really cool features. I'm going to go through just the basics right up front. Right off the bat, you've got your 3 buttons in the front and your 1 on the side. This is your activation. This is what fires. Your 3 buttons in the front, your 2 black buttons at the top. There you go. The 2 black buttons at the top, that's your voltage up, your voltage down. The red button is your power on, power off. If you hold the red button down for, I think it's 5 or 7 seconds, it's going to turn it off or turn it on. Once you've set your voltage, if you hold both the top buttons down for, I think, 5 or 7 seconds, it's going to lock your voltage in. It's going to lock your voltage in until you do this. Once you take your battery out and you put the battery back in, it is going to erase its memory, essentially. So you're going to have to keep in mind that as you change it, now I'm going to have to go, and right now it's sitting at, alright, so I want to bring this up to, alright, and I'm bringing this to 4.2. I don't know if you can see that, and you probably can't. Alright, so it's sitting at 4.2 volts. It's got a nice deep drip well, so you're not worried about anything dripping down, because even though the glass is sealed, the buttons are not. I have yet to see any, even when I have spilled over the side and it spilled over onto where the flash button is, there was no issue with it. Anyway, so it is an 18650 battery. The battery it comes with, I'm not going to say where I got mine from, simply because it has inundated the entire network. You go to just about any website, you're going to find a ProVary, a Night Rider, a K-Rider, any variation on the theme, or even some odd names of companies who just want to have their own special name for it. It looks like this. It's knobby at the top, knobby at the bottom. Some of the design elements are similar to those of the ProVary. ProVary also has a similar concept of having kind of like a notch at the top, only theirs is a lot smoother. When you balance, if you have a ProVary in your hand, heft it right now, and the ProVary is going to feel solid, heavy, unbreakable. And then you heft this beside it, and this is about half the weight, including the battery. It's about half the weight. The walls are thinner, the battery fits a little snugger, you know, there's a bunch of different things. There is only one connector. It does only take an 18650. There is a version of this they call the ProVary, the LavaTube Mini. It is a 2/3 size. I think it stops about, yeah, somewhere around about there. And it takes an 18500. Does that sound right? I think so. 18500 battery. I don't know if I've got enough juice in there. Oh, we'll give it a shot. As you can see, massive amounts of vapor, just like the Darwin did. You know, there's no question on what you can get out of this. And now I have no idea what the wattage on the ohms are on this atomizer. That's a drawback, but that's a drawback on any of the other devices. So you're going to basically go puff puff, okay, that's good, push it up one, puff puff, okay, that's good, puff puff, and you keep pushing it up until you hit a spot where it's like suddenly, you know, the flavor peaks out and then it starts to go into the burny, and then you're all right, bring it back a notch or two, and you're good. It's trial and error. For me, it's no more trial and error than it is with the Darwin. The Darwin, you get some more information, but this works. Now, price, if you're in Canada, you're looking on average about 80 bucks. If you're in the States, yeah, it ranges. I've seen some devices sold as little as $35. I've seen others sold up into the same $80 range. My only concern, the only thing you should be aware of when you're buying a model is, because these are still only about 4 months in, 3-4 months in, if you're getting a $35 model, ask them to send you a picture of the end cap. And the reason for that is, if you can tell, and sort of, there you go, the newer models have a hole in the bottom. Now that hole means nothing has nothing to do with the problem I'm about to tell you. It just seems to coincide with and this is the earlier versions. That hole in the bottom, that end cap hole, wasn't there on some of the earlier devices. And on the ones that didn't have the end cap hole, a lot of those had inside mechanical problems, electronic problems. They're not related. They're not the same issue. But it was a tie-in. You know, if you had one that didn't have a hole in the bottom and you had a problem, that you understood why. It was the electronics, and there was nothing you could do about it. I have had this now. I think I got this middle of January. We're now coming into March, and I'm loving this. I just wanted to point out, I watched my other video, the Darwin video, and having it right here, sorry if I hurt your ears, really was making it muffled. So I'm hoping that pulling it away from my face a little bit might make a difference. This is a new rig. This is a crappy set of headsets. Long story short, I upgraded my computer rig. I haven't gotten around to getting the soundboard and my mixer and the nice mic that I want. We're gonna get there. Anyways, totally irrelevant. So this is a device. If you're looking for variable voltage, you're not sure if you want to spend $200, because you can get a Fidias VV. You can get pretty well most of the major mods will have a variety of it that will say blank 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 VV. Or VV blank blank blank, and usually the mod itself plus the variable voltage pushes it up over $100, $150, $200. One device that I seen that was variable voltage was $300. It also happened to be a very fine handcrafted wood mod with display and just, it was sweet. But you maybe don't have that much money. Maybe you just want to see if variable voltage is your thing, because a lot of people are perfectly happy with their Ego or their 510. They don't want to go fancy. If you're one of those ones who's not sure, figures, you know, it's worth a shot, this is the baby you want to go with. It's a great little device. When you get your kit, generally speaking, it'll come in a case like this. Now, I have all my Addies and Cardos in here, but it'll give you an idea. On this side, you'll have the device, and you'll have 2 batteries. They're generally, most of them will come with 2 batteries like that. On the other side, you'll have 2 atomizers and a drip tip on average. I have seen some of them where they've had no atomizers and 5 or 6 Cardos. I've seen some that have just 2 atomizers, no drip tip. You get what you get, really. The pack also comes with, and I don't have it out, which of course I should have brought out, but I don't. It comes with a little charger. It's just a single cell battery charger, and some devices don't. Again, it's site to site. I'm not going to bother trying to point out all the different websites, because it literally is, at this point in time, if they're a major vendor, chances are they have it. If they don't, They're the oddity, really. I have come across, I think, out of the 20 sites that I regularly check, one I think doesn't have it, and it's just simply because they looked at it and went, "There's so many other people buying it, selling it. I'm not going to make much money on it, so there's no point." And that's fair enough. But this is a great device. It's variable voltage. You can see your voltage. It's got a little screen there. I'm not going to try to power it up. I will, but you're not going to be able to see anything, I don't think, because as soon as I do, it lights up and it's too bright. It's set at 3 right now because I took the battery out, so I'm going to bring it back up to 4.2 because I'm pretty sure that's around where I was setting it for this. And like I said, lots and lots of vapor, lots of flavorful vapor. That's a 510. This is a 510 connection device. It does have a nice deep drip well, which means that if you have a device, let's say, where's my tank? I don't know where to put my tank. Where did I put my tank? Dang it. I had a tank, little 3 mil tank. It sits on there, and it's just up enough that it sits on top of the well. The edging sits just high enough that you can get some good airflow. And that's about it. It's a good device. You don't want to not try it. If you're thinking about doing variable voltage, you definitely want to try it. Anyways, that's me. I'm Jay the Vaping Guy, signing off.